Most people think HR exists to protect them. It does not. HR exists to protect the company from you. That is not a cynical reading of the department. That is the legal and financial mandate it was built around. The moment you understand that, everything else HR does starts to make sense in a way it never did before, including the monitoring. Because here is what most employees do not know. The file HR has on you does not start on your first day. It starts before your interview, and it does not stop when you leave the office. It follows you home. It follows you online. It sits quietly in a database you will never see, updated by tools you never agreed to, reviewed by people who will never tell you what they found. This is not paranoia. This is a budget line item. In 2026, HR departments at mid-size and large companies are using third-party software to monitor employee digital behavior outside of working hours. The tools have names that sound neutral, vendors that market themselves as risk management platforms. The product they are actually selling is a continuous background check that never ends. They are scanning public social media, not just your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your Reddit username if it can be connected to your real name, your Glassdoor review, the Facebook post from 3 years ago that you forgot was set to public, the forum where you complained about your industry at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday because you needed somewhere to put it. None of this requires your permission. All of it is technically legal. And all of it is being fed into a system that scores you on something called reputational risk. You are being graded on a test you did not know you were taking. Here is how it gets used. It rarely shows up as a direct accusation. Nobody calls you into a room and says your Reddit post from 2022 is why you did not get the promotion. That conversation never happens. What happens instead is quieter and harder to fight. Your name comes up in a succession planning meeting. Someone in that room has seen a summary. The summary does not quote you directly. It flags you as a potential liability. The word liability does not get spoken out loud either. It just sits in the back of the room while your colleagues discuss who is ready for the next level. You do not get picked. You never find out why. The system worked exactly as it was designed to work. The second way it gets used is during restructuring. When a company needs to reduce headcount, it needs a defensible list. Performance data is messy. Tenure creates legal complications. But reputational risk scores are clean. They are generated by software. They feel objective. They are not objective. They are a translation of your private life into a corporate decision that you have no standing to appeal. The employee who posted a frustrated opinion online 2 years ago becomes the employee whose role is eliminated in the restructuring. The connection is never documented. The connection does not need to be documented. The system already made it. There's one thing worth saying clearly here. Knowing this is not a reason to disappear. Scrubbing your entire online presence creates its own signal. A person with no digital footprint in 2026 looks like someone hiding something, and that impression travels just as fast as the thing you were trying to hide. The goal is not invisibility. The goal is intentionality. Every post you write is a document submitted to a file you cannot read. Every opinion you publish is a data point in a risk assessment you will never see. Every platform you use casually is a source being indexed by software that does not understand context, sarcasm, or the specific bad week you were having when you wrote it. The question is not whether HR is watching. The question is whether what they are finding is the version of you that you would choose to present if you knew the camera was on. Because the camera is always on. It was on before you got the job. It will be on after you leave. And the file they are building on you right now is the most important performance review you will never be allowed to read. Drop a comment if HR or your company has ever made you feel like you were being watched outside of work. I want to know how many of you have felt this and never had a name for it until today. Subscribe if you want to understand the workplace before it consumes you. I am Clara. I will see you in the next one.